Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence. Get on this capacitor thing. I want to explain this stuff. We've been tracking this for a long time. This is what happens. You can have almost unlimited cycles. Discharge, recharge, discharge, recharge. Imagine a coil in your car, man. It's I don't know how many spark plug fire-ins a minute. It's a lot. The problem was, imagine you got a D-cell battery size, about, it's a few inches high and, about, that big around. So you have a D-cell. Well, what you do is you take a foil and you wrap it around into let's say you got a roll of aluminum foil. Well, you have to insulate each roll. It can't touch each other. And it's so charged that there's any defect in the material or the insulator that goes around, it'll just discharge, it'll just blow up. It'll, fry it. This is how it's explained to me. So I'm going, okay, so that's what's holding it up is the insulator? Is there something, well, they came up with different coatings and nanotubes. This was discovered by, I think it was General Electric in the late 50s. They did innovations. They go, wow, man, this is good. Died. Then it was rediscovered by another company. Wow, it's good. Yeah, boom, it got sold to NEC, which I think is, National Energy Commission, or, the government, okay? It's all about, oil and, conspiracy, de la, whatever. Well, as time goes on, you just lose control of this kind of stuff. Sooner or later, it's that 13-year-old in his grandma's basement in Boston that marries an ionic breeze with a toaster, and all of a sudden he's throwing some carbon, and all of a sudden, boom, he's got it. He said, yep, figured it out. With the internet, that's what's happening. All of this information is being stored. You just go on looking for, all you got to do is Google ultra capacitors and do a little bit of wiki search, and everything. You can get up to speed no more than me in 5 minutes. The thing is this. If you are able to instantly charge, because when you're doing all these other rechargeable batteries, all of these other types of fuel cells, all of these other types of chemical batteries that you have, nickel, cadmium, this, and lithium ion, and yada, 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 it is a chemical reaction. It takes time for you to charge it, and then it'll discharge. This is instantaneous. They have these all over. It's what starts up a lot of electric motors. They get them started because it takes a lot of energy. Store up the capacitor, boom, and then it gets it turning. So this is going to be enormous. Imagine this. Remember when they first came out with memory keys? You're going, wow, I get 100 megabytes. Well, now you can get 60-something, 64 gigabytes or what. And it's just a little printed circuit kind of, they're charging me how much? I remember, I think it was 2 gig or 4 gig. I paid up to $70. Yeah, I think it was a 4 or 8 gig when they first came out because I wanted to be able to put enough information for a whole DVD project that we're working on doing, editing. And we go in and I go, 70, yeah, but I need it. They're giving them away now. They're like handing out, disposable calculators. Order this magazine and get 15 gazillion memory. I remember when we were doing a bunch of DVDs for the Love Evolution, we're making a bunch of them. They had a sale. It was probably about a year ago. Thomas and the guys were out there at Office Supply or Staples, I think it was. They went and they were giving out 128 megabyte memory keys with every 50 DVDs for $6.99 or some ridiculous price like that. And we bought up as many as we could. We going and, just sending everybody there, go get them. So I got these little memory keys coming out my rear. Well, that's what these capacitors are going to be looking like. You're just going to plug it in to the side or inside a compartment. You take it out and put another one in, or just leave that one in, charge it, and it lasts for freaking ever. Batteries for automobiles. That's where this is going. Carbon nanotubes and them being able to do this is what has been the big thing holding this up. The ability to transmit with no resistance electrons and store them from whatever power source. And because it's instantaneous and you don't have to have a chemical reaction, That allows solar cells, solar collecting cells, they don't have to be on, constantly the photons hitting it and constantly charging up these chemical batteries. It just takes the electrons and puts them straight into a graphene-style ultracapacitor. How much do you hear about this? This has been going on for years. We've been following this. You go under the category of energy on Freedom's Phoenix. Go to Freedom's with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. Go into the archives at the top, and you'll see contents by subject. You go in there, you go to E for energy, boom, there it is. And we've been following this for just like we follow the space race. We just got confirmation. We're getting this guy on this next week. Rocketeers, man. Ooh, Spaceship One, Government Zero. He wrote the book. We finally got the producer Sierra talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to meet you guys because we're the ones that did the sign." Pal Gamble came up with that. We made him, in my living room when we, went the next day out to Mojave Desert. Boom, Burt Rutan grabbed that from me, gave it to astronaut standing on top of the space capsule, Spaceship One, Government Zero. Well, that went worldwide. Not a lot here in the U.S. You don't hear about the space stations, 2 of them, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 in orbit right now. You don't hear about these new innovations in energy. You don't hear about all the stuff that's going on right now. Now, we'll put a lot of it up on, we go to MIT website, we go to Popular Science, we go to a lot of, Biomed, we go to Wired, we go to a lot of places where we can get this information, Life Sciences, and we put this stuff up just to give you an idea of what's coming. How are you preparing? Oh, do you know where, maybe if you're going to be doing anything in the stock market, what industry you go in? But, I don't trust these guys, man. They just manipulate everything. So to heck with them. I'll just, maybe you want to go and just buy some rare earth elements, know what they need. But how are you going to be able to invest in carbon? Is carbon. How much is carbon? It's like nothing. This is the economics of this planet is going to change enormously when you start to get us independent. We're going to declare our independence and not be dependent on a grid. How do you do that? I always look at 3 things: transportation, communication, and energy. Those 3 things, and then of course you might want to add food, but those 3 things go into a lot of the cost of the food. And a lot of it's always energy. Energy. You can condense water from the atmosphere in the freaking driest desert if you got enough energy. Now, I can live my little island out in the middle of Sahara and do just fine, thank you very much, and have a resort out in the middle of the dunes. Yeehaw! If you got enough energy. You can be in Antarctica, you got enough energy. Energy is there. The innovations are coming. It's already online. They, them, those don't want you independent. And I'm afraid they got to, take us out. Well, there's a lot of things. Let's just go through some of the stuff here on Freedom's Phoenix. I'll just whip through them real quick so that we can see what we're going to be talking about here today. Now, let's see. We already talked about that. Don't want to do that. When we come back, I'll have them all lined up for you because there's so many things that are going that we have a lot to be thankful for and to be happy about. There's things that we can be, look into the future and see that it's bright. So bright, we're going to have to wear shades all the time. Be some shade wearers. Yep, that's right. It's all bright, and I'm counting on you. I'll put a positive spin on what's going on here when we come back, because I can. It's Christmas.